Hi there everybody, it's Rob from Glas Data here, and today I'm going to continue where I left off with my previous video where we'd created an alert where we were listening to the CO2 reading from a CO2 sensor, and when it was greater than or equal to 2000 parts per million we were being sent an email. So I'm going to talk about two concepts in this video. The first is the idea of constant alerts, and the second is this idea of duration. Okay, so to start with constant alerts. Now if you click on any of the condition nodes, these are always the purple ones. You'll notice that we have this checkbox here, just called constant alerts, and it's by default it's on. So when you create a new condition, every time you by default this is switched on. Now if we click on the little help button, it basically says you'll be notified every time a data within your alert zone is recorded. Now what this means is that let's say we have a CO2 sensor in a shed and the value goes above 2000 parts per million for 4 hours, and we're taking a reading every half an hour. That means that during those 4 hours, we're going to be sent 8 emails saying that the value is greater than or equal to 2000. Now, this could be what we want to happen, but equally, we might only want to be notified the first time this happens. And then the consecutive times, we don't care because we've already been told it's above 2000 and we can then go and take some action, or at least we know. Now, in order to make this happen, all you have to do is you have to uncheck this constant alerts button and just hit save. Now, what that means now is that the first time this CO2 sensor registers a value of 2000 parts per million or more, it will send us an email. But if this carries on happening for 4 hours, we won't be sent any more emails. Now let's say that the CO2 values then dip, so we end up with 1500 parts per million for a couple of hours, and then perhaps it rises again and we go over 2000 a couple of hours after that, then we will get another email. So once it's dipped below the value and then come back up again, it will then carry on alerting us. But it won't pester us for the whole 4 hours saying I'm over 2000, I'm over 2000. And that's all there is to it. Now the next little concept I'm going to talk to you about is this duration here. Now if we click on the help box, the help button here as well, you'll see that the duration is described as the duration an asset has to be above the threshold for the condition to be passed. Now it could be that as soon as the CO2 sensor in this case peaks above 2000 parts per million, we want to know about it straight away. But it also could be that we don't really care if it peaks and then goes down again. What we really care about is if it goes above 2000 parts per million and it stays above 2000 parts per million. So let's say that we only want to be told if the sensor has peaked above 2000 parts per million for at least 2 hours. So all we have to do is we have to enter 2 hours, or not 21 hours, 2 hours here, and then simply hit the save button again. And now what this means is that when the CO2 sensor rises about at 2000 parts per million or greater, it stays there for 2 hours. We will then be sent a single email saying the parts per million is increased to 2000 or more, and then we won't receive any more emails until the CO2 sensor then records a value lower than 2000, and then it comes up again to 2000 and stays there for a further 2 hours. So I hope this makes sense and I hope that's helpful. And do check out more videos for other aspects of the alert system and what you can do with it.